Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Feel at Home. My name is Leslie, come from Rio de Janeiro. I live here in Sweden many years. I will try to say in English. Swedish is my second language, in English is my third. I really try. But before, I would like to share God's words. The scripture says, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 30. It says, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. Yes, thank you, God. Why I chose this scripture? Because last week, a friend of mine, she sent me a video about two young ladies. They were in Israel, and on the square, he started to preach about Jesus to Jewish people. Was in the Sabbath, and after a while, a lot of boys gathering there and started to insulted them and threw stones and asking her, the two young ladies, why you doing here? And they start to continue to preach, mix it with Hebrew and English. They continue. It was this situation increase, and after a while, it have to come to a police officer to take them from there. Why I'm choosing this subject, this topic? Because I think God give us, I'm sure give us a strategy to talk. You must to respect other people's thoughts and beliefs. Because I live here in Sweden, I come from Brazil. Was completely different, like night and days. Here in Sweden, they says it's a Christian country, but now after secularization, secularism, they don't think like we think in Brazil. For example, you can preach outside and square and the football arena and on the beach. It's just normal for us, but here in Europe, in Scandinavian and the Nordic country with Finland is completely different. You can't go out and preach. You have to talk in authorities and you have to respect all the laws. So what I'm thinking, I don't know if you don't know, but when I met my husband over 30 years ago, he was atheist. So you can imagine it. But that time, I don't know if I told you, and this, I think in Portuguese or in Swedish, how I met my husband. At that time, I could not speak any language except Portuguese. So I wrote cards and letters. I just drew exactly like children. But I was so when I was writing to him, I sent nice things. I never asked him, you have to be Christian, you have to receive Jesus as your savior. Just to show my love and show that God loves him. Even he didn't understand that time. But anyway, I send the way that I know not come into his beliefs, because he didn't believe anything. And after a while, when I came to Sweden, I realized, and I started to read some books, because I didn't learn, I didn't study theology and the missionary courses, how to come to Sweden. Just the Lord sent me to this country, and I'm sure. And when he became a Christian in Brazil, because he saw miracles, he saw Lord, he saw the God's love with Jesus, everything, that he never ever have this opportunity to know in this country. Why? I'm going to explain. Have a different atheism. That's my opinion, my own experiences, because my country, some people says, I'm atheist, I don't believe in God. But after I'm studying, I have my close experience with the people, to listen to their backgrounds. I realized that most of them, they come from a Christian family, and there's something happened there, childhood, or the race and environment with the violence, and everything was forbidden, everything was a sin. And what happened when these people, when they grew up, they can I say, don't lose their faith, but they get disappointed and angry with God. That's why they say, "Oh, I'm atheist." It is to them to say, "No, I don't talk about Jesus. Don't talk about God, because I don't believe in Him." Because actually, they're disappointed for something that happened. For example, me, when I was a child, I've been through many things. My foster family, they said bad things to me. They weren't my biological parents. They were my foster family. But they said things that hurted me very, very deeply. Not so deeply because I don't put this in my heart, because I said, I don't think it's God's fault. I think it's a human being. So I'm trying. Yeah, when I met Michael, it's a different way to think, because with Michael, my husband, he grew up with no God, no Bible, no Jesus, no church, nothing. So I understand why, because his mother, when she came to Sweden in the 60s, her mother, my husband's mother, my mother-in-law, she came from Finland. And at that time, she grew up with the environment with a lot of everything was forbidden, and I don't know. She came to Sweden with rebellious behavior, and she thought to herself, in Sweden, I will start a new life with my husband was my husband's father, and I will raise my children without no God, no Bible, nothing. That's why my husband grew up without no God. So that's why he didn't understand what God is until he met God in Brazil. But how he met God in Brazil, how I introduced God to him, I'm for sure, I will never say to him that if you don't believe in God, you go to hell. No, I would never, ever do that. I hope you don't do this, because everybody has your way to preach. Everybody have a way to explain to individually the God's love. So some people, they can stay on the preach, I don't know in English, in the church, and they preach for 100,000. And I personally, I like to individual, to talk, to conquer the person confidence, yeah. So that's way, I'm a nurse assistant. I've been working hospital, different areas here in Sweden. I have a lot of beautiful moments and experience. Oh Lord, it's just, I can really write a book. So I hope one day I will do that. Yeah, so I remember one day someone said to me, do you have you study for no a special course or something? I said no, not. Yes, I know. I'm not study Bible course or university. No, just learn by doing. The way I am. I like to talk with people. I like to listen to people. I like to hug. I like to send emails. I like to send messages, and like to go out and take a coffee, Swedish fika. Yeah, that's Swedish fika is the kind of so like cake, coffee and cake. Yeah. So that's I think this is my way to introduce to this person to Jesus. So it's depend the people who they are. Some people they are very open. Some people they take a long time. Like my mother-in-law took me long time. But I know in the end of the day, in the end of her life, she she how say in English become free. I say what the words she became receive Jesus as her our Lord. But I have another words. I have in Sweden. But I have to remember in English. So she make peace with the Lord. That I'm sure. I have another words, but I'm sure that the last day, the last moment, she reconciliation. She reconciled with the Lord. That's the word I will try to remember. I'm sure because the day that my mother passed away, I was very devastated because Lord, I've been praying for my mother-in-law many years, and she never let me talk about you because from the beginning she said, "Don't preach it to me, don't talk about God." She was so lovely person. Yeah, I really appreciate her presence and this. She was my mother-in-law and also my mother for a short time in this world. So anyway, how I showed her Jesus love the way I am. Yes, sometimes you don't have to say so much. That's the most important to show God's love the way you are. If I'm kind, if I'm respect this person, if I'm not pushing so much, that's I used to say that we Christian is like fish, in the aquarium. So people around us and look to us. They surround us and they look at the way you are, not the way you talk, the way you are, the way you teach, the way you talk with the other people, the way you are the person outside, inside, with the church, inside of church, outside, when I go to the gym, when I go to supermarket, when I go to everywhere, the way you are. Remember 3 weeks ago when I came to this city, Jönköping, I was with the bus. I went to supermarket and I saw coming a lady, and she asked me what's the entrance. Then I gave her the basket and I helped her with her stick. Yeah. And she said, "Are you from here?" I said, "Yes, I come from Brazil, but I live here in Sweden many years. But you are not from Jönköping." No, I lived 5 months ago. I live up in the north in Eskilstuna. But you are different. Oh, thank you. So that's the most important, that the way you are, not the way you talk. Some people, they know the Bible from Genesis to the book of Revelation by here, but not here in the heart. So the most important to show people respect. So my husband became a Christian, not because I introduced him. No, not because, not I forced him. He became a Christian because he said to me, "Leslie, this is very interesting." When I met him, he had a job always. Thank you. He already had a job. He was only 22 years old. He had already a job, his own flat, car, money in the bank. He said, "I don't need God." But one thing he said to me, why I received Jesus as my Lord, because I felt something missing inside of me. So that's why. So I hope you understand what my very simple English. So may the Lord bless you all. So see you next time. Bye. Hey, do. Ciao.